The 8th race, one of the highlights of our racing season. This is the 58th running of the Jack Diamond Futurity. $125,000 gross guaranteed. For 2-year-olds, foaled in Canada. All 10 of our starters today foaled in British Columbia. On parade now, number 1 is the brown gelding Jack Webster. Jack Webster is owned by Smith, the Derby and Red Diamond stables, trained by R.K. Red Smith. The rider is jockey Rick Hedge. Number 2 is the gray gelding Original Vagabond. Original Vagabond is owned by Mr. and Mrs. Peter Stephen, trained by Peter Stephen, the rider Mark Walker. Number 3 is the brown filly Wild Fancy. Wild Fancy is owned by the Tri-Star stable and A&C Chan, trained by David Forster. The rider is jockey Aureliano Noguez. Number 4 is the brown gelding Salt of the Sea. Salt of the Sea races for Mr. and Mrs. Nick Bellicella, trained by John Morrison, written by Larry Lacoursiere. Number 5 is the brown filly Harmony Islands. Harmony Islands is owned by San Rafael Farms, trained by George Cummins and ridden by Pat Young. Number 6, the brown filly Relate to Me. Relate to Me is owned by Ian D. Loeb, trained by Stephen Byrne. The rider is jockey Rodrigo Duran. Number 7, the brown gelding Unfair Tariff. Unfair Tariff races for Ken Walters, trained by George Cummins. The rider Chris Loseth. Number 8 is the brown gelding Sparshot. Sparshot races in the colors of Ballymaloe Farms, trained by Ed Thompson. The rider Sam Krasner. Number 9 is the bay filly Zatz Gold. Zatz Gold is owned by Ron Lore Holdings and El Yeski, trained by David Forster. The rider Joel Mena. And number 10 is the chestnut gelding King Balmoral. King Balmoral is owned by Linwood Stables, trained by Ed Thompson and ridden by jockey Brian Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, the BC Jockey Club is pleased and proud to present the 58th running of the Jack Diamond Futurity. And they reach the starting point now in 12 minutes. They're at the post. There they go. It is Salt of the Sea in front. Wild Fancy is running second. Jack Webster is third. Harmony Islands fourth. To the outside, Unfair Tariff. On the inside, Original Vagabond. Then it is Sparshot, followed by Relate to Me, Zatz Gold, and King Balmoral trails. Around the clubhouse turn, it is Salt of the Sea in front by 3/4 of a length. Harmony Islands is second by a neck. Down on the inside, Wild Fancy is a close third. Then on the outside, Unfair Tariff fourth. Jack Webster is fifth. Original Vagabond sixth, followed by Relate to Me, then Zatz Gold, Sparshot, and King Balmoral trails. There on the backstretch was Salt of the Sea. They're in front by a length and a half. Wild Fancy moves up second. Harmony Islands is third. Unfair Tariff fourth, and Jack Webster and Zatz Gold. Now they have reached the quarter pole, and Salt of the Sea continues to lead it by a length. Wild Fancy second and a half a length. Harmony Islands third. Zatz Gold is fourth. Then Jack Webster and Unfair Tariff. Wild Fancy through on the inside, challenging for the lead. They're at the top of the stretch, and it is Salt of the Sea and Wild Fancy battling it out head and head. Zatz Gold is third. It is Salt of the Sea on the outside and Wild Fancy running second. It is Salt of the Sea and Wild Fancy. It is Salt of the Sea. Winning presentation, Mr. Charles Diamond, President of BC Turf.